welcome back to my channel. My name is Philadelphia and I'm here today to review the book Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. So let's get started. I talk with my hands a lot, and so I'm going to give you a warning. I dyed my hair this morning and my hands are dyed. I can't get it off. I didn't use gloves like a moron. That's going to be there for a while. I am guilty of being completely influenced by the book cover on this one. Cotton candy. And then I saw the book everywhere and I was like, I should read this, it's pretty. So I read this book in about 4 days. I had a lot of time to read last week. I had surgery on my leg, so I was bedridden and could not move. It still kind of hurts to sit here, but I love you, so I'm doing it. I needed an easy book after that last book I read, the Little Life book that I did my last review on, because that one was rough. It was depressing. So I needed a book that I knew was going to probably more than... Is that Newman? I have created like my own little animal kingdom outside. I put 2 bird feeders up and now I have this squirrel that I call Newman, but I think it's a girl, so I call her New. And then I have these crazy blue jays with the black heads and little chickadees, so I spend all day looking at them. So let's dive in. Let's talk about what this book was about and my thoughts and opinions on it, and I'll let you know how many stars I think it deserves. So this book, it's an alternate universe where the president is a woman and she has this charming, dazzling son who's about 20, and he has this nice little tight relationship with his sister June, and his best friend is Nora, who is the VP's granddaughter. So they have a nice little throuple, and then they go to the royal wedding, and then he has an altercation with the Prince Henry, who's the Prince of Wales, and they do some damage. Alex and Henry don't get along before this wedding. They had a couple incidents in the past where they kind of rubbed each other the wrong way, and then the royal wedding was really just a explosion of how they truly felt about each other. And so there was a huge PR campaign to try to show that these 2 countries actually do get along, and that the whole situation at the royal wedding was blown out of proportion. Now, during these little PR appearances, Prince Henry and Alex start to form a different kind of a relationship, and that is what the book dives into, is how their relationship evolves and the challenges that come with that. Just, change in history. I will say this is a cute love story. It's very Disney movie-like from, the early 90s, mid-2000 era, but with blowjobs. It's kind of horny. My opinions are in the minority. I know a lot of people absolutely love this book, and people gave it 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. I am not that person. I didn't love this book, but I did like it, and it was a good read. It was easy, it was a cute love story. Things that I did like about the book was that the relationship wasn't a heterosexual relationship. So I haven't read too many books where it's not just a man and a woman falling in love. Like this dove down a different path where the Prince Henry is gay and then Alex is bisexual. So it was their relationship, and I liked how it showed Alex coming to terms with his sexuality and how it showed him having to figure out how to tell his parents. I thought the parents' reaction was not predictable, what I thought it was going to be, because his mom's the president, and I thought she was going to be more concerned with the fact that he was bisexual, and she wasn't, which is great. And I just thought it was really supportive the way she embraced who he was, and same with his father. And it wasn't a big deal. I think that was nice, that there didn't have to be a conflict with it, and that they were accepting, even though they were in positions of power. One thing I do like about their relationship and in this book was that you got to really live in the good for a long while before there were any conflicts in the relationship. There was a lot of like happy situations and just a lot of memories that were made between the two of them that you got to be right along with. You know, it was a page turner. I wanted to see how their relationship would turn out. And like the whole time when you're reading it, you're like, oh, they're gonna get caught. I mean, it's the prince and the president's son. Surely there's paparazzi, and I mean, they're public figures and they're having this secret romance. And I'm like, the whole time you're just like, they're gonna get caught, they're gonna get caught. Now let's go into what I didn't like. And I didn't notice this towards the later half of the book, but in the beginning I had a hard time getting into the book just based off the dialogue. I thought it was kind of corny and cheesy and out of character for their age range. I mean, I'm in my mid-20s, so this is written for my age group, and I would never say half the stuff that they're saying. It just felt like an old person was writing it, and I don't even think Casey McQuiston's that old, but it felt forced a little bit and kind of just like, I'm like, oh, this isn't what people say. So I didn't care for that, but I didn't notice it as much towards the end, so maybe I got used to it, or she found her groove in her writing. That this book tries to do in the beginning is create this relationship that goes from hate to love, but in reality, Alex had no reason to even have conflict with Henry. It wasn't enough to really build this hate to love story arc that they were trying to do. I mean, because that arc lasts all of like 10 minutes and then they're in love. So, I mean, why do they even have to be enemies? One thing I didn't like about Alex and Henry's relationship was that every time they were together, they had sex. Like, every single time. I was like, there's more to a relationship than just sex. And I don't know if they're just trying to play on like the Hillary Clinton email scandal. But what 20-year-old emails another 20-year-old? Like, that's weird to me. I mean, even if I have something that I really needed to say and I didn't want to call someone, I wouldn't send an email. I would just send a really long text. And the fact that they're texting and emailing, why change mediums? I love politics, so I was really excited that this book takes place in a political environment. And, you know, we do see how Alex is trying to figure out what's the best strategy with the timing of his relationship, with the upcoming election. What McQuiston doesn't really get at, though, is all the political warfare that Henry would have to navigate. I mean, he's the Prince of Wales. This situation is going to affect Henry at least the same amount as Alex, if not way more, because he was born into this. This is his entire life. It's such a big deal for the crown, and she doesn't talk about it pretty much at all. I mean, there's reference to the Queen not being okay with it, and the Queen bringing up the, talking about heirs to the throne, but I mean, there's no resolve in that really. So now it's time for what I think of the book overall. I'm gonna be in the minority here. It's not 5 stars for me. I give it a 3, which is good. That's an average rating. I just didn't love the dialogue and the writing. That's what kept me from giving it a 4. And I just don't think it was even close to being a 5. And I thought it was a great read if you want to read a nice modern romance book. And it's great for the upcoming election, just to get you in that political state of mind and go out there and vote and make your voice heard. And again, my name is Philadelphia, and thank you for watching. I'll be continuing putting up book reviews here, right? I'm I'm currently reading The Hobbit, so I'll have a review up and my thoughts on that book, a nice classic that I haven't read before. And I also am working on a project that has to do with zero waste. So just remember to subscribe and like and follow me on Instagram so you can catch up on things about my life that aren't just books. My handle is Philly Hewitt, and I'll put that down below. I'm gonna go look at my birds now. See if Nu's out there on the porch. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day, and remember to like, subscribe, and comment below. Bye.